Well, now we're joined with some of my favorite people at Avixa. We've got Sam Minish and Sanj Sharati. Thank you both for joining.
Thanks
I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, it's really nice to be here.
So Sam obviously has a great name. So we've got that in common.
Sam squared.
Yeah, Sam squared. We walk around like that, like this. Sam and Sharati, you have been integral in getting the Exchange Live up and running, as well as Avixa TV. So, and if it wasn't for, some of your brainchild and some of your thoughts and a wonderful team at Avixa, people online right now wouldn't be able to watch us right now, and as well as be in the audience here. So can you tell us a little bit more about Avixa TV?
Yes. So this is something that started in some form or fashion several years ago. It was the brainchild of several different really brilliant people, and if I tried to name them, I would forget several, I'm sure. And so it's been a work in progress for a long time. I think, as we all know, during the pandemic, the world changed and access changed. And so when it came back to coming to an event in person again, we knew that there's always going to be people who can't travel to the show. And so we wanted to make sure through the live stream that we were able to connect with them and provide that accessibility and be able to experience everything, maybe give a little bit of FOMO. So that they're encouraged to come next year. And then the great thing about Avixa TV is it's not just this live stream. Obviously, this is a big act to follow, especially with cowboy hats.
Yeah.
But we also have programming all year long. We've done some incredible case studies around the world. The team has been able to feature programs in Barcelona and in Germany and Las Vegas. We also have been highlighting some really cool products and projects in higher ed, which has been really great. And we've got some amazing explainer videos online. I don't know if you've ever seen video bandwidth explained with mountains of Skittles, but if you haven't, you have to check that out.
Got to check that out.
Well, Sanj, one of the things that I love about the Avixa Exchange is it gives people like us an opportunity that aren't Avixa employees specifically to have a voice, right? Whether that's through podcasts, whether that's through hosting shows like this. We have a chance to speak up and have a voice in the industry. How impactful has that been for you?
Oh, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, just working in AV for about almost 30 years now, the tools to communicate with different businesses, to partner with them, to collaborate, haven't been there. And the great thing about the Exchange particularly is people are starting to talk about things that they never would have talked about before. The Avixa Exchange Live yesterday, we had people coming to us talking about some of the problems within the AV industry which they didn't know existed. So to have them kind of focus on it and talk about it and actually communicate with people that they've never spoke to before has been really enlightening for them. But also for us, like, Avixa, the company, seeing those conversations, actually seeing things that we never thought about. We wouldn't have seen any of that if it wasn't for the platform. So I feel like it's quite liberating, actually. Yeah, definitely.
And for the people watching at home, can you discuss a little bit what is the Exchange Live where we currently are? So just tell them a little bit about what they're missing, and hopefully they can come check it out next year.
Yeah, I'll start, but Sanj, as our host, is probably the best to help out there. What we're really trying to do is the Exchange all year long is this digital platform, and for that engagement and being able to have these conversations, but we know that we want to have these conversations in person too. Sometimes you can break down context in a completely different way, just having a face-to-face conversation with somebody. So what we really wanted to be able to do is sort of break the barrier between presenter on stage and audience, right? The audience is as much a participant on Exchange Live as the presenters are. It gives people a good chance there. We're featuring a lot of speakers who are in education sessions or in the technology innovation stage. And so you can have a much more intimate conversation with those folks and dive deeper into some of these topics.
Yeah, and like the communities are growing. I mean, the Exchange is only just over a year old. When it started, we had about 200 users, and now we've got like 13,000 AV professionals who see the value in the utility that it provides. People are, communicating or basically going straight to the source when it comes to what it is that they're looking for with regards to support. It's been great tool for sellers who are selling like AV products or AV services, but it's also been a great tool for like buyers who are looking for specific things, because they can't just go on Google and search these things. They have to find the right trusted professionals and partners, and that's where the exchange helps them.
Sam, I think a lot of people, when they hear about the exchange, they think of it, it's another platform like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, whatever platform. But the reality is, it's kind of different, right? It's a publishing platform more than it is a social media platform. Talk about some of those core differences.
Yeah, I mean, we really designed it. I mean, it's got a lot of sort of, the layout and the features are designed to be very instinctive, right? And so it does have some of those sort of experiential similarities to a LinkedIn, so that you know how to use it, what the buttons do, and where to find things. One of the key differences, honestly, is it is highly focused. It's for AV, and it's for those who work in and around AV as well, right? We've tried to make it very, very approachable for, there's obviously lots of conversations this week, especially on, is it AV? Is it IT? And I think we all know they are one and the same in so many ways. And so there's so many that have called themselves IT professionals for the longest time, but they're doing AV work, and they're working with AV professionals and needing those services. And so being able to make that very accessible for them as well has been a huge part of everything we've done. So that's sort of the core there. You can really dive in, as Sanj was saying, like into the topics that are most interesting to you. You can ask a question of actual engineers who helped build products and find out more things. You can talk with others. Nothing's perfect. Some things have bugs, as much as we would like them not to have. And it really gives you that opportunity to dive into, well, how did you work through this? And I'm trying to install this thing, and I've got these crazy dimensions, and like I got to fit it into a corner, and they've got no walls. Like, how do I do that? And somebody else probably has done it, or will workshop it with you and help you figure that out.
You also need to think about the community as well. The AV community is a very buoyant community, not just with regards to how much money is being spent. And I mean, you look around, there's a lot of money being spent in the community, but also with regards to how burgeoning the technology is. I was talking to a really cool professional actually who's helping us here about where AV has come from and where it is now. And now it's one of the coolest industries to be in at the moment, because you're literally at the forefront of change with regards to visualization, broadcast, anything to do with live engagement. So to actually come to a community come to a place that has that community where you can engage with those people, where there's no posturing, or there's no kind of noise with regards to other things that are going around it, is really enlightening.
For sure.
And it's really taken off. It's its 1 year anniversary, and there's some really great stats and numbers that you can share. But what do you see? What is next for the exchange? What can we expect to see?
It's continued growth. The exchange is designed for the AV community, and it needs to serve them. And so as the AV community is learning how they're navigating being digital, coming back to in-person events, and sort of that in-between, right? A lot of our business is now hybrid, and so that those digital components are absolutely core. We're expanding, we're adding new partners and new brands every single week that have amazing voices. We're also elevating a lot more individual voices, right? That, as Sanj was saying, right? These are folks who have dynamic things to say. They're really, really brilliant. And so being able to provide them that platform and grow that further is going to be a core part of what we're focusing on for the rest of this year.
And Sanj, what would you say to those folks who maybe are newer to the industry, feel like they want to create, they want to become creators, publishers, subject matter experts, and the exchange is a good place to do that? How would you suggest they get started?
It's a really good question. So there are lots of new sort of bloods coming into the AV space, and I think the frustration for them is like, how do I communicate with these people that I want to learn from, but also these people that inspire me? And I think the exchange is the place to do that, because you're connecting with people that no one gets to connect with in this space. So I think that's the first step. But the second step is also to collaborate with them, to talk to them and say, like, how can I add value to what you're doing? Because all of us in the AV industry, the ones that are successful are problem solvers, because there are so many problems, when you're working with AV for various reasons. and this new blood that's coming into the sector can help with that. So it's about enabling them to communicate with each other.
Well, look.
Well, most importantly,
last question.
Most importantly, how can people access the exchange? We need that information.
For sure. For anybody who's here, come by the Avixa Exchange Live booth. We've got programming all day today, all day tomorrow. We've got some really exciting speakers. Booth 4461. But if for anybody playing the home game, exchange.avixa.org is nice and easy. We've set it up so that you don't have to have an account in order to be able to consume this information, right? There's a lot of, to your point, Ben, there's so many great content creators that are out there that aren't necessarily your traditional content creators. We've got great media partners on there for sure, but you've got some really unique individual voices, and you can engage with that completely on your own without that. And then if you want to start asking questions, it's a really simple process to get set up. And then you're off to the races. And it's completely free and open for everybody to contribute and add their voices to the conversation.
Absolutely.
Sam and Sanj, we appreciate you coming on.